Good
Just
to hear.
it's gonna be a fun, exciting weekend.
All right, we're gonna get into that. Thank you for accepting the invitation and coming on to share this one of these important topics that we're talking about that we've all probably are aware of across the country, right? Um, so do me a favor, introduce yourself, and then we'll get started.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Anna. I created an account last year in June. Um, that's called Good Neighbors United. The reason for the name is because I grew up in Hawthorne, which is the city of good neighbors.
Hmm.
So I made this account, and I it's been a lot of nonstop work, community work since then. So we're just trying to support our community however way we can, and the fact that I'm a good neighbor, we don't just help whoever's in our city, we help everyone else who's also being impacted.
Yeah. So give us some background of yourself. Growing up in Hawthorne, I'm familiar with the area. Who was Anna growing up in the city of Hawthorne? Who's Anna?
Well, I grew up in Hawthorne, and something that I've always loved about the city is that it's very diverse. And so I'm an artist, so you can see one of my paintings behind me. So recently I've been very inspired to create work. So I've been working on a lot of new pieces that hopefully I'm able to get done soon. But yeah, so when I was young, I was always joining the art contest.
Mm.
And um when I was little, I remember my art teachers telling me, "Hey, here's another art contest." And it got to the point where my classmates, I would say, ask them if they were going to join, if they were going to enter, and they said, "No, that we don't think there's a point in doing that." Which, I felt I was just like, "Why not? You should, go go and join as well." But luckily I entered a couple of contests, and I happened to be kind of good. So that was my memories growing up, and I still live in Hawthorne right now. So I'm around all the schools that I grew up in.
Yeah, thank you for sharing
Mhm.
that. One of my important conversations that I have is about family. What do you want to say about moms and dad? What do you want to say about your parents?
Well, I believe I am who I am today because of my parents. They since I was little, my first language is Spanish. So growing up, there was ESL programs. They don't call it that anymore, but
Yeah.
when I grew up, it was called ESL, English Second Language.
Hmm.
And I'm very proud. My parents were always like, "Yeah, learn English, but when you're home, we're going to watch the movies in Spanish." And when I was little, honestly, I kind of was kind of upset because whenever I watch a movie, my friends would be talking about it, and like since the dialogue is very different,
Oh
like
yeah,
I couldn't always relate to what they were talking about.
yeah, yeah,
But forward now to, because of that, because of them, hey, we have to keep our culture, we have to, you have this is part of your identity.
yeah.
So I'm very thankful for them kind of forcing me to do that, because thanks to that now my Spanish is still very good. And
Yeah,
even
I've met some people that their families stopped speaking Spanish because they
Mhm.
wanted to, and something we're going to be talking about today with you is to belong, right? They'll sacrifice that language just to feel like they belong to a society where you're free to be who you are and keep that culture. But for some families, I've heard that they stop speaking Spanish, and that also impacted the children, my friends, in their adult life today for not having that ability to speak Spanish.
Yeah, but I think culture in general is very beautiful. So, watching the Super Bowl, there was a lot of moments that I'm always curious to know, like if other people got certain cues. Like, there was one moment where Bad Bunny woke up a little kid from the
Yeah, yeah, I
party.
saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
So that's a core, memory for a lot of us, going to parties, and just like, the party doesn't end until the next day. So I'm always curious, like if other people might have similar
Right.
similar impacts like that.
Yeah. And lastly, any siblings? Any siblings that you want to acknowledge?
No, I'm actually an only child. I always wanted siblings, and honestly, when I would see my friends, I would always want to hang out with their siblings because I didn't have siblings. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm an only child. My mom says I was such a good child that she was just like, "Good, I'm good." So,
How was that for you growing up as an only child? But from your experience, though.
oh yeah, I always just wanted to have a sibling, but like I just hung out with friends and a lot of Latin culture. We're very when you're very close, close family friends, you
Yeah,
become family.
exactly.
So we just it is what it is. But I have best friends who I consider like sisters.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. It's so important because again, sometimes those single children, you know, a lot of things can go on in their mindset and feeling left out or wishing they had another sibling. But again, and I know I appreciate the Latin culture because there is a dynamic of family connectedness in that culture. So I appreciate you for sharing it that way. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, I'm gonna drop you back down in the room, and then I'm gonna bring up our other guest here, see what she's talking about real quick before we get both of you on the deck here. We'll be right back, okay?
Mhm.
What's happening, lady?
Hi.
How you doing?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah? I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Oh
Oh,
no.
we can hear you just fine.
Ah, I'm so sorry. Why can't I hear you? Let me
All right, come. I'll bring you back up. There you go. All right, let's talk more, Anna, about your art. What what was going on that had you create that site for the Good Neighbor United? What was going on in life at that moment?
So before I created the Instagram account, my husband and I saw a flyer for a protest, and we went to that a protest, and you know, um, it was a really great protest, and it got people wanting to start getting involved with everything that's happening. So I just felt like there I wanted to do more. So that's the reason why I created it. And now through all of this work, I've connected with various groups which actually all formed around the same time.
Mm,
So which goes to tell you how community is responding to everything that's happening.
right.
So it's despite the unfortunate circumstances, it's very beautiful to see how we're all supporting each other in whatever way we can.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for that. Let me see. Can you hear us now? Can you hear us?
Hi. I am so sorry. I can't hear you guys.
In here? Oh my
I'm
goodness.
trying my best. Like I can see you guys mouth moving. I'm so sorry. I don't know what to do. Let me see. Maybe I don't
Yeah.
know. Connecting my headphones.
See what? See, we. I'm watching out for you. Don't worry about it. I got you. I got you. So, what's your view of the state of the United States today? There's so much going on around the immigrant conversation. There's so much attack on the sense of belonging, the connectedness, the neighborhood, the unitedness that you're pointing to. What does that look like for you?
Yeah, it's very sad and very personal as well. So in these times, what I've noticed is a lot of people are feeling very lonely because maybe what they're seeing in the news is not necessarily kind.
Right.
So how I feel like us as humans can counter that is to keep protesting and showing people that we are here in support of them.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that aren't able to actually use their voices.
Right.
So that is one of the reasons that I personally like to protest, for those who can't and to help amplify their voices. So, and also this is not necessarily something new to our
Right,
culture.
right.
This is, unfortunately, trauma that has been there since I was growing up. But
Yeah,
it's to a whole nother level right now, which which I just feel like we need we need to keep resisting. And there's, sometimes people ask me like what they can do to help.
yeah,
Um, but we need to understand that there is many different ways that you can help, even if you cannot protest.
yeah,
I can
definitely.
hear you guys.
Oh, shit, you did it here.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, but proceed. Proceed. Thank you. Thank you.
No. Anna, thank you. I'm gonna come right back to you. I want to give her an opportunity to share, so I'll bring you
Sounds
right
good.
back. Thank you. What's happening, lady?
Hello. We finally make it happen. Thank you so much for having us,
Finally.
man. So glad to
Do
see
me a
you.
favor. Introduce yourself so we can get started.
Oh, hi everybody. My name is Coral. I am like part of an organization that was created or born exactly like Anna's, probably the same day too. It's called Artists for la Raza. We're basically just musicians and artists from LA that were using music to peacefully protest, and now we're fundraising money, and that's how we got me and Anna actually met. And me and Anna are not me and Anna, well, or both of our organizations are doing like a fundraising concert this upcoming Sunday and stuff like that. So that's what we're doing.
Okay, so just like Anna, give me some background. Who is Corel growing up as a little lady? Who's give us some
Uh,
background.
Just a little Mexican in the border town. Uh, my brain is divided into two. My official language, like my native language, is Spanglish. So me and everybody that's from my hometown, we speak fluently. Like we switch like for word, almost like English and
Right.
Spanish. I feel extremely comfortable doing that. I feel more uncomfortable just fully speaking English or fully speaking Spanish. And that's where it's an interesting culture. Like it's a border town. Is we're like most Latinos or most immigrants, many immigrants, we have like two cultures. But
Yeah.
like my hometown is like literally like we'll go blocks to a couple of blocks and you're in another country, and vice versa.
Wow.
And we have like centuries, so we like cross so because we cross so frequently, and it's just yeah, like both of the countries are my home basically.
About family, we talk about moms and dads and siblings. So what do you want to say about your family? Moms, pops, siblings.
Just very proud of my family, very beautiful people. I am very blessed to have like good loving people that taught me what love is. Like I'm realizing that not everybody has that privilege, and that breaks my heart a little, but it's like wow, like I'm really blessed to know what love is because my family taught it to me. So or showed me, um and just very hardworking. I'm from an immigrant, I mean, sorry, a farm working community, so very, very hardworking, like honest people.
Where did the violin come into play?
So my hometown used to be, I don't think it is now, but it used to be like the poorest zip code of Arizona and like one of the country. So we were some of the our schools were one of the like the least funded, and someone created a musical program a couple of years ago, and thanks to that musical program, many of us have jobs.
Wow.
There's a really big good like marching band program that was created, and the mariachi program that was for elementary kids, and that's why I have the violin, because someone just gave me the violin. I didn't like choose it.
What?
Now, yeah, now I'm like, dang, I could have chosen the trumpet, but I was like, no, like we just had resources for the violin, so they gave us violin. It's like, I mean, but it's great. That gave me that planted a seed to like for what I do now, for sure.
Yeah. I believe I saw you in J Love's performance. I think you
Hmm.
performed the song. That's where I first saw you. So what do you want to say about touch on that experience? I mean, you perform obviously a lot, but what was that like for you?
That was my
Doing that.
first theater performance, if I'm
Was
not
it?
mistaken. Yeah, I think I did that. I did one like in church, but like an official one.
Yeah.
Um, and I met Jay, the wonderful person, through like a random other project that we were doing. And I remember I drove from Phoenix to LA just for that little gig that didn't even pay that much. Paid like $50.
No way.
And he's like, "You drove out here," and I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'm trying to make it. Like, I'm if I have to live off my car, and I will do it. Like, I've been doing it for years, and
Wow.
now I'm very blessed to say that. Like, that was like one of the first things I did out here in LA, and that kind of
Mm,
like brought me out here more, I guess, a little bit. So I was like driving around back and forth from Phoenix to LA, and then I
yeah.
was finally able to get established out here and fully live off
No,
music and arts.
no kidding. I see you
Yeah.
perform. I see your Instagram clips. The level of courage or confidence that you have, or where did you get that from? Who do you equate that to? Your environment, your parents, peers? Where'd that come from?
For sure, I'd say my mom. I always tell her like the wings that I have, like she gave them to me because, well, también because I'm a crazy child and I feel so bad for my mom because I wish I would have been born like, an accountant or something, or like have a passion for, more of a normal job, not like this crazy job. So I feel so bad for my mom, but instead of discouraging me, she's like, go for it. Even though she's like, this girl is crazy. Like, I know like she thinks that, but she doesn't say it to me. So that thanks God bless her for that, for sure that, and then just in general, I think that just maybe the ADHD has something to do with it.
As a parent and a grandparent, you know, realizing we do want our children to do things that fulfills them. It's not always about the money, right? But sometimes if you
Yeah.
grow up in an environment where we want your life to be better than ours, and we want you to make money, and we think that it's the money that makes the life better. Sometimes it's just being fulfilled in the expressions that we get to be about. So I appreciate you for sharing that, and I'm sure they're proud of you, regardless when they see your performances and who you are as a person. So I'm sure they're proud of that.
No, thank you, man. Likewise, likewise.
Yeah, thank you. All right, we're gonna bring Anna back to the deck here. All right, Anna.
I was just thinking the time where I actually met Coral was at another event from another friend organization.
Uh huh.
And I was just uh, like, her performance just gave me so much goosebumps.
Right.
And like
Oh,
her voice is just so powerful, and it's not just singing. The way she portrays the emotions,
Right.
because all the arts, like visual arts and performing arts, are universal, and that's what it's all about, to present those emotions, and
Yeah.
that's how people can relate to each other.
Yeah. I'd be
mhm.
like, yo hablo poquito español. What did you say in English? Like, what was that in English? So let's just rip the band-aid off the conversation. We understand there's a lot of things going on in the media. The media doesn't always paint the picture. It paints a narrative of what it wants to show in those 60-second, 2-minute clips. Anna, what do you want to say about that conversation? What do you want to? I'm gonna start with you. What do you want to say about
There's a lot of things that I would like to say, but honestly, it's just, we what I feel like I have control of
that?
is just seeing how I can help the community. So my work, community work, actually changes depending on what I feel the community is in need.
Mhm.
So right now, there's a lot of food insecurity. So I
Mhm.
started focusing a lot more in that at the moment. And it just being there for your people and telling them, I see you and I'm here for you.
Yeah.
And because I work with a lot of local street vendors, and every time I see them, because I've developed a friendship with these hardworking people, every time I see them, they know what's going on, but they always tell me, tengo que seguir echándole ganas, which means I gotta keep working hard.
Yeah.
And and the amount of positivity that they have,
Right.
like, it's just what helps me keep going.
Right.
Like, because they inspire me, because these are people who are making an honest living. To me, they are the heartbeat of the community.
For
They've
sure.
been working in these communities for over 10 years. Everybody knows them. They're always kind. They're to the point where people know that maybe they're a dollar short. These
Yeah.
people will be like, Don't worry, I got you. Just, so these are the kindest and hardest working people, and like they are what America is about.
Yeah, no doubt. Corral, what I've been following you, and I when all this stuff jumped off, I saw you out there performing and advocating and speaking out. So give us your perspective, your perception, your interpretation of what's going on in this world on from the streets.
Well, this has always been going on, unfortunately, and to all minorities, from our
Yes.
we can talk about so many things. It goes so much. It's not right now. What's been happening right now is that now it's like out in the open, like just blatantly. And we have phones now. We didn't used to have phones. So now
Mm-hmm.
we have actual footage of, versus a webcam that's all blurry of a cop or something and then missing information, evidence or whatever. So now we have like that clear evidence. And so people see the reality of what's happening now. Like the brutality is like right in your face.
Yeah.
One. So we're more aware because I will have some people like argue with me like, oh, well, this has always been happening, so it's just like it's not as bad. Is and I'm just like, no. Oh, someone told me like it's the media is putting all these bad things to make our president look bad, and I'm like, bruh, I am the migratory community. Like I from a border town, I grew up seeing border patrols, and we used to have our rights like respected. We all have rights in this country, whether you're an immigrant or not, if you're a U.S. citizen or not. And it just that the rate or the level of lack of respect and the violation of our constitution, how it's being like this again, this has been happening unfortunately, but at this level, at this como we say it like in Spanish, it's just like descaradamente, meaning like now they don't even hide it. Like it
Yeah.
like before they kind of used to, like cover it, but no,
Yeah.
now it's like plain as day, and it's just horrifying to see these things and kind of being normal. And
Yeah.
I realized like venturing out into other because I work in film too, and just like well, sometimes when I go to work or do other random stuff with people that are not from the Latino community or other como se dice, other minorities,
Mm-hmm.
they really live like in a different planet. Like they don't see how I'm like in shock, like of like this bubble that they live in because
Yeah.
they're white, they're privileged, or
Yeah.
or they're sometimes you don't even have to be white, but just maybe someone very privileged with money or then and that's got que bueno, that's good that you have that privilege. Well, use it, or at least be aware of it. So it's really it's crazy, and not just with this, but like even we all have known, we todos hemos sabido that Gaza has been like that they've been starving people, and now it's in our faces and we can see it, and then it becomes kind of normal, and that's not okay. So it's a good and a bad, it's a good thing. I think we have such a powerful tool, and now it's time to use that for better, and it's being used for better. Like it's bringing community together. We've been meeting and all this madness, at least people come together and you see hope, and I think that was that's like a silver lining, no, in all of this.
Yeah, and I appreciate you both again. For me, I had to really find my peace in this conversation, right? Because, like you said, it's been happening for centuries, not just the last 5, 10,
Mm-hmm,
15, 20 years. We talk about centuries. This stuff has gone on, and for me, it's the labeling of it all. Because once we label one another in our ethnic background, whether it's Latin American or African American or Asian American, right? Those conversations, we forget that the white skinned community were also hyphenated, right? They were also Jewish Americans, Irish Americans, Polish Americans, right? But there was some point in history, we look at 1981, where Ronald Reagan and the guy named Lee Atwater had this bright idea to unhyphenate all the white skin to include them in the white box. And so we forget that in the white skin community, they didn't get along with each other either. So when you talk about immigrants and being from different parts of the world, we forget that marginalized second class citizen experience is across the board for many people who came to this country, fleeing their own countries from either famine or being killed or whatever that were, just for a better opportunity. But the
Yeah.
labeling for me is what's disheartening, because we forget that we're all, our ancestors, our great grandparents came from somewhere to bring their families here for an opportunity like we're, like you and I, the three of us have right now, to be on this radio talk and have
Yeah.
a conversation with one another. Like, we're our ancestors' prayers being answered. But there are some people who still have that mentality from their own back culture that dislike the other races, and that's not brand new to us. And so, with that being said, how do you, what's your experience of that with when people talk about the label? Because I believe that, as her organization's Good Neighbors United, the word says love your neighbor with the same measure that you love yourself, right? And
Yeah.
so, if I don't love, and if I tell the truth, I don't love Farhan 100% all the time. So I can't expect you to love me 100% of the time. But what do you want to say about that neighborly love that is missing more in a conversation versus it is actual on ground? Because you talk about people are still confident, they're still fighting for their love for one another, even besides what the media portrays.
I don't know. You want to go first, Anna?
Yeah. I think that we live in a world where we have the internet as access, and yes, you can find a lot of misinformation, but you can find a lot of actual information as well. So I think if people want to have the conversation, they need to get educated about what they're talking about, because there's many times where I've been approached, people wanting to have a conversation, but the points that they're trying to make are not based on logic. So to me, it's like that we can't have a conversation unless you know what you are talking about.
Right.
And for me personally, it's about choosing humanity. As
Mm.
simple as that.
Coral?
I do want to say something kind of along those lines. Unfortunately, all this hate started like brotando, like growing because of the leader that we have. Because if your leader is being rude, if your leader is ignorant, that gives people permission to do so. And it's really sad. I tend to respect what people like. If you were a Republican, I respect it. I wasn't gonna be in your face like, bro, you know. but it comes to a point, and even Martin Luther King said it. Like, it comes to a point where you not saying anything, it is a problem. Like, that's
Mm.
violent.
Mm. Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. And what she, okay, there you go.
Can you? Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
So not saying anything is violent. So right now, it's not that I'm judging you, but now it's like, okay, if you're a Latino, if you're someone that voted Republican, voted for this leader, and you're seeing the hate that it's bringing, because at the end of the day, we're all humans. Like, it doesn't matter if you're brown, if you're a guy, if you're a girl, like, we're legit all brothers. Like, we're coming from the same, we're one race. So when you bring people and trying to be, elitist, saying like, no, these type of people are better than these. We were going in the right direction. We had Barack Obama as president, Michelle Obama. We had two great like leaders, and we were going in the right direction. And now this wave of hate hit. So it's just like, okay, well, we're going through this, but now let's think, like, is this okay? Does it feel okay in your heart? And
Yeah.
now it's a beautiful thing that you're seeing that people that are actually Republican or used to be like hardcore right, people from the right, they're like, this is not okay. And because at the end of the day, what do we all want? We want the world to be better. We want peace, we want equality, we want equity. It's just normal. We want to live in a beautiful world and where people can have opportunities and be their best version of themselves, and so that no say that I do want to say that get be the change. Go out, vote, call your senators. We actually have a lot of power, even though sometimes it feels hopeless. Honestly, some days
Yeah.
it's just like wow, especially when like our rights were being violated, like just like así, cruelly, like when people were even like given, como se said, like a hearing. People's cars were just being opened illegally. People, or I was just going into people's homes illegally, and it's just like, oh wow, like I honestly did lose hope for a second. And
Yeah.
and I'm very pacifist, like very. I've always been like I'm against guns. Actually, I wish guns didn't exist, but I'm not gonna argue with people about it, But
Right.
that's just me. And now I'm like, oh my god, like for a second you're like, do we have to be defending ourselves physically now, like is that really? And I know that some movements, like it had to take that people
Yeah.
risking their lives physically to protect people, and I'm like, it shouldn't be like this. We're civilized human beings, like we should be able to fight with our pens. And so no say it's really, like you said, you kind of have to like find peace with it a little bit. But the only thing that I can say with that is that we no don't lose hope. Remember, you still have rights. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to not open the door of your home unless they have a jurisdictional, like a judicial warrant. And ICE
Yeah.
is using fake warrants. So even if it says Homeland Security, that's not a judicial warrant signed by a judge, and it has to be signed by a judge. So make sure it's signed. And you can tell ICE, like, slip it under my door. Like, I need to see it. And if they
Right.
do break into your home,
Wow.
record everything, say your name, give a contact, an emergency contact, and try to get either the license plate of the officer or the officer's name, because that's the best way to locate you. Because
Wow.
yeah, people have been disappearing, unfortunately, because our rights are being violated. But we can't lose hope. If we keep recording this, documenting this, one day we're gonna look back and all those people are gonna be in jail. I know they're gonna be in jail because that's life. I believe that love always wins. So
Yeah.
just stay vigilant, be safe, like just try to protect your neighbor, like Anna, like bring community, just even like just like posting, sharing a post of where ICE was seen helps so much. You don't even
Yeah.
have to go out and protest, because I know some people are like, dude, what, I'm scared, that's not me. And it's like, well, you don't have to. Some
Yeah.
of us, it's easier for us to go because we're angry, and that's the best, because if I don't go out and yell in the street, I'm gonna go crazy. So
Right.
so there's so many positions that one can do to help, again, just by sharing information, sharing your rights. Oh, and don't sign anything. You have the right to not sign anything. Even if ICE is taken, just say I have the right to remain silent and not sign anything until your lawyer is present. So
Wow.
just don't lose hope. Get involved in any community that you want, anywhere. Like there's, like I said, there's a lot of beautiful organizations that were born or that have been here, and they just, that you can just join. It's really comforting to know that you're not alone.
Yeah. Thank you. Anna, before we get out of here, any last words that you want to share with the people?
Yeah, just like Cora said, there's many different ways that you can help. Just look into your local orgs and see what work they're doing, and whatever you seem like you're interested in, go volunteer, learn. We have groups that specifically do food distribution, mutual aid. We have rapid response groups. There's so many. So, and also the key is to be prepared, and talk to those that are at risk. Make sure they know their rights, and tell them, hey, what is the plan if this happens?
Right.
So there's a lot of resources out there. So and just keep pushing, and we're trying to do whatever we can. So this is what we're going to be focusing on this
Yeah.
this weekend. Hmm.
Yeah. I want to bring up Dr. Dabney is here. He's a fellow veteran as well. I just want to give him an opportunity. Dr. Dabney, you ready to come up on stage?
Yes, whenever you're ready.
Yeah. So just tell us, do I have not room? I don't have enough room for 4 people. What am I doing? Let's find out. All right. Let's see. Go ahead, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you? How's everyone else doing?
We're very good. We're
Hello.
good. Thank you.
Good.
What do you
I'm just listening on you guys' conversation. I was actually looking at the link through Facebook.
Oh, you were okay. Oh, okay.
But I had to
Okay.
come in and come back out again.
Yeah. Okay.
But I was listening to what you guys were saying. Guys have done a great job. Just from what I've heard. Listening to you, so you guys do a great job as far as educating and supporting the community, which is great.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you
No,
so much.
no problem.
Let me see. Okay. So, Coral, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate you hanging out with us. Anna as well.
No, thank you so much, man. Really, really love what you're doing. Nice to meet you, doctor. I'll listen to you right now. Anita
Oh,
had
no
to go,
problem.
but from both of us, thank you so much for the time. And just quick announcement. Sorry, taking advantage
Yeah.
of
Go ahead. Go ahead.
here your spot. So we're doing a second fundraising concert fully for migrant families. February 15th, this Sunday in Palos Verdes at the Pacific Unitarian Church. You can look us up on social media as @Artists for La Raza or at Good Neighbors United on Instagram or Facebook, and we have all the info there. A lot of great artists just donating their time, vendors, food, like beautiful, just beautiful people. Just come. We're gonna have information and just try and fundraise as much money as we can for migrant families, for their legal, costs, etc., etc. So thank you very much.
Thank you for your time again. Nice seeing you. Thank you.
Thank you, bro. Good day.